Ah.
This
Hello, everyone. This is the Unprofessional Opinion Podcast. I am AJ. Next to me is this nigga here in a blue hoodie, JC Shazay. How are you this evening? Or morning, rather.
I told you to stop calling me that.
I'm not.
Stop calling me that.
It's funny.
I will not go by that name.
It's because you get mad. That's the reason why I keep
I'm
doing
not
it.
mad. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah,
I don't
just like
call
when
you outside of your name. So why call me outside of mine?
My
It's
name was
common
called
courtesy.
Young Barry in your phone for years to come. Come on now.
I mean, but that's a compliment.
I mean, no,
You
but,
look
but,
like one
but
of the
it's-
greatest running backs ever.
But it's outside of my name, though.
But JC should. I don't even know what that means.
JC Cezanne?
What is that?
He was a member of NSYNC.
Wow, you're calling me the
He was a great choreographer.
Unprofessional Opinion Podcast.
Many
episode
years,
number
had a
8.
very, very long career, still making money, still got them royalty checks.
Episode number 8.
What's happening?
Um,
What were the members of his? It was JC Chazé, Justin Timberlake, Lance Bass, Joey Fatone. What was the last one?
who cares?
The short one, the one that sang falsetto like me.
I don't care.
I can't remember his name. He was a beast,
Unprofessional
though.
Opinions Podcast, episode number 8.
His voice is fire.
Podcast after Thanksgiving. We recap the stories that are the most interesting. We ask the questions that people aren't asking.
Well, I have to ask a question that everyone is asking. How was your Thanksgiving?
I wasn't done with the intro.
Well, I'm still asking. I mean, well, the question still stands when you finish.
Right. Is there anything else we have to add to the intro?
No. Not on my side, at least.
For some reason, I feel like you're not all the way into this today.
I'm just...
You're distracted by something.
I'm not.
You are.
I'm here talking. Let's do it.
You're distracted.
No,
by
but really,
something.
though, how was your Thanksgiving?
It was average.
Why was it average? What happened?
Because I can't cook, man. I can, but I just didn't
I was
execute.
about to say, let the record show that he actually can cook. I mean,
I
what
just
he's
didn't
talking
execute. Right. I mean, burn the ham.
about. How the fuck did you do that?
I was trying to get that honey baked ham crust,
Oh, that glaze.
but it's like a crust though.
Yeah, yeah.
And I left it in the broiler too long.
Damn.
I tried to add a little extra. I went too big and it
Burnt
struck
the,
out.
You burnt the edges.
Yeah, it singed. Singed on the outside.
Inside was amazing though.
The inside was good.
Well, that's good.
Just didn't execute right. I mean, mac and cheese, man. I mean, don't even get me started on the stuffing. Let me talk about that for a second. Pepperidge Farm,
Mm-hmm.
whoever forecasts demand for stuffing mix needs to get fired immediately. There is no stuffing mix anywhere. I had to
Really?
use that Kraft stovetop garbage, and my stuffing turned out horrible.
Okay.
I went to 6 stores in a 4-day period. No stuffing mix to be found.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I just forgot my zip code. Nothing. It was bad. It was really bad, Pepperidge Farm. You're horrible.
Damn. Well, maybe it was just a lot of people trying to get stuffing mix, man.
I'm talking about, but I went shopping. You were there with me.
Yeah.
I was looking for stuffing mix the Sunday before Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's getting stuffing mix weeks in advance. Nobody's stacking up on the stuffing mix. Come on. Better than that. The sweet potatoes were amazing.
The sweet potatoes were amazing.
Best sweet potatoes I've ever had. Even though I broke my hand mixer doing it.
Okay, so how of the dishes that you? How many dishes did you make total?
6.
How many of them went correctly?
2.
Damn.
It was still a very good Thanksgiving meal. How was yours?
Mine was great. I mean, it was a bit weird not having everyone here because, you know, my sister's overseas and my brother is currently on a band trip. And he doesn't get back until today, actually. Yeah. So it was weird only having 5 folks in the house: me, my mom, grandma, my dad, and my baby sister. But I mean, food was still fire. Amazing. You know, my mom always executes. She does it well.
Yeah, that's a little shot. I'll take it.
No.
It was a shot. It was a shot. It's cool. It was a little jab. I got you.
It was not.
I got you. You know I'm sensitive about my food.
Dog, you've seen how I done fucked up in the kitchen before. So, I can't. I'm not sitting here trying to take shots at you. Okay. Let me not be the first to cast the first stone. Okay. But yeah, overall it was good. I still got a bunch of food downstairs that I plan on fucking up today. So yeah.
No, that's dope, man.
Yeah, man.
Let's
go get right into it.
We're just gonna get right into it.
Yeah, because I mean, unless you got a fire segue.
Actually, I had one, but whatever. I had one for this. So
because I thought you were gonna be ready for what I finished, but
no, I mean I did. I mean, you know, we were talking about all natural ingredients and stuff, and then I wanted to segue into talking about We Grow. Now, for those of y'all who don't know,
I totally forgot about that. What is We Grow?
It's you know the company WeWork.
No.
Oh well, they specialize in, they buy office buildings and they customize them. So they customize, like, if you want to have a certain office layout,
mm-hmm.
they'll buy a building and they're like customize that layout for you.
Okay, interesting.
So they've created a school that people swear is the next coming of schools.
Okay.
It's in New York. I think it's $38,000 a year,
mm-hmm.
and it's for, like, you know, pre-K kindergarten kids, and it's based on agriculture. So
interesting.
They have these little kids.
Agriculture in New York.
You know,
it's an oxymoron. They ain't got no. Where they got somewhere to plant.
So, you know, it's not a whole lot of technology, but it's a lot. It's entrepreneurial based schooling for really young kids.
I just want to know where these kids are going to practice.
So during the week, they go to some type of farm, and they participate in the growing of goods, and then they sell those goods.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, so you're buying your natural herbs from a 6-year-old.
Okay.
And that's how they learn their, you know, their math, their money, their entrepreneurial skills.
Man, that's legit.
And I mean, people are praising this school here.
I mean, that's a great idea.
$36,000 a year for preschoolers. For preschool for ages 3 to 4, $22,000 for 2-year-olds, $42,000 for elementary school. That's a lot of money.
So it's pre-K through
elementary school.
So pre-K through 5th? Okay. I mean, that's a great idea to put, rather than going in and just enforcing basic fundamentals by repetition, you're actually going in and applying shit. I think application off rip helps a lot, rather than just learning basics and fundamentals and not really knowing why you're learning them. So I think that would be I think that would be great.
I have my doubts about this.
Why?
Because, like, what are you actually learning here? Right, I don't hear anything.
I mean, you're learning about business at pre-K.
Right, but
like that's some great, like, you're learning very basic business concepts at such a young age. That's very useful.
Yeah, if it's in addition to what you would normally learn in pre-K. I mean,
well, I feel like
pre-K, I mean, you know,
well, I don't think they would.
Is also important.
Yeah, I don't think they would just be teaching you how to grow and sell crops, because that's probably illegal because of child labor laws.
No,
but
I mean they. It's probably, you know, in lieu of in the place of like science, you
Mhm.
learn the science of growing fruits and vegetables.
Right.
And then,
You can learn the math of selling it. Then you can learn like something
But
that has to do with social studies.
I would have to know like what their actual, because there's not a whole lot of technology being used in the school.
Right.
So that's what caught me off. It was like, we're all technology, and you're like, nah, we're good on technology.
Well, I feel like, because this has been an interesting topic of conversation that I've had in these past few months. Like, the more and more that we get closer to like technology, the more and more we still need more people to do things that are non-technological,
Sure.
i.e., like working in agriculture and things like that. For instance, like, compare it to like people going to college versus going to trade school. Like, so many people now are going to school now and getting degrees and going to do all this other work. Now there's like a shortage of like electricians and plumbers and things of that sort. So people who are in those fields make a lot more bank now because everybody else is aiming to go get their 4-year degree and then go work for a big corporation or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And now you got plumbers who could basically charge $5,000 for you to work your house. I mean, obviously not like that, but like they're making close to that, like
Right.
almost weekly, because there are like one of 12 plumbers left in the area. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's like the same thing. Like, the more and more that we get closer to technology, the more and more we need people to not be solely involved in technology. Because, like, regardless of what goes down, like, if all of the technology is just like some, Y2K incident happens and all technology just stops working, like, we'll still need to know how to grow food, how to get places without technology. And I feel like that's where a school like this would definitely step in, so that you can still get the best of both worlds. Because kids these days are not getting a world where there is no like super amounts of technology like when we grew up.
Yeah.
Like, we went outside
Exactly.
and ran around and rode bikes and climbed trees and all that. Now all these kids, all they do is play video games and get on iPads.
Exactly, man. Bunch of Aladdins and Jasmines out there.
I mean,
A whole new world.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's a great
Right.
one. So I think in that sense, this will be really good.
But it's so out of, I don't want to say it's out of left field, but when you hear about what needs to happen with the education system,
Mm-hmm.
all you hear about is STEM. We need more people in STEM.
Right.
STEM. And what about we have people that cut the stems off of the fruits and, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I feel like,
So where is the balance? Because, according to
we been getting
the
preached
ranking,
STEM ever since like 5th grade. Like,
right? But I mean, they're saying that like America, we're not good at either teaching STEM or getting people involved in STEM.
no, we're not.
So it's like,
We're-
where is the balance of, do we say, okay, we need to go the STEM route, or do we need to go
Right.
the alternate route? And as we discussed, it ain't like we got a whole lot of money.
Right.
We have very little, if any. They just ain't coming to get it.
Right. And then, the thing about that is the countries that we look at that have those STEM rankings,
Mhm.
like, look at the other side of like the other fields that they're working in, and just look at those countries in general. Like, a lot of those countries socially are 1,000 times different than where we are. A lot of the work that's being done outside of those STEM fields is just like, what the fuck? Essentially.
Right.
So it's just like, yeah, they're pushing STEM folks to do it, but that's because like a lot of folks are being forced to do STEM. So it's we have to find. I think we're one of the few countries that really could find a great balance in all that. Like, really, when it comes to like, I guess the West in general, because like aren't most of like the top STEM places out in the Eastern world.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and then when we look at that, like, yeah, we have all these people who are doing the STEM work, and then peasants. Like, there is no middle class for them. It's just like,
What is that? Oh, M is math, right?
Yeah. So
Science,
technology, engineering, and math.
Okay.
So it's just like, yeah, we have all these people doing STEM, and then people who aren't doing STEM are poor as shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we want that. So.
Yeah, I mean, because like you said, man, it's always a lot of supply and demand.
Right.
You gotta have, if there's not a whole lot of demand.
Okay.
Gotta have supply.
You're right.
Or or is vice versa.
Right.
And, speaking of supply and demand, Thanksgiving. I'm glad that we saved Thanksgiving. That Thanksgiving itself is not about the holiday shopping, but it's the mark of the holiday shopping period.
Mm-hmm.
And Black Friday happened. Did you purchase anything?
Yeah, but I didn't go to any stores because fuck that shit. I bought my shit online because folks be out there wilding like shit. So
That's cool.
yeah, I went and bought anything that I wanted. I bought that shit on Amazon. They had some great deals, really great deals. So yeah, that's where I'm at on that. What about you?
I didn't buy a doggone thing.
And I didn't buy shit for nobody else. It was all for me.
No, man.
So I still gotta do some shopping with my next check, I think.
I mean, we're on pace to surpass last year's total spent on the Black Friday, Cyber Monday, $6.6 billion.
Jesus.
And that's a lot of shopping. And still, 80% of it is done in person, which I find
hilarious.
It's the consumption never lie thing. Y'all tell me. Y'all just online shopping is the greatest thing ever until it's time to go get some deals.
Well,
same deals online.
Right, that's the thing. Like the deals are
store.
online. Like, why would I wake up at 4 a.m., go stand in the line for 12 hours when wake up at what? The go crit. Bleh, I can't talk for shit. I don't know how to. Why do I just not? I don't know how to talk at all. Anyways,
freeze up, man.
Like after Thanksgiving dinner, I'm going to get in line. It's like 5 p.m. I wait in line 7 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Get in there, risk getting trampled over, having to fight somebody because if you step on me or push me, everybody getting some. Everybody's getting a piece of this if you touch me, nigga. Fuck you and this flat screen. Anyways, do all that.
Yeah.
Risk not even getting the shit that you came in there for. Or I could just, eat Thanksgiving dinner, go do my family traditions, all that great stuff. Hop on my computer, go to basically any website that I want to, because they're all having sales. Purchase what I want, basically right then. Only risk you run is that it's not in stock right then. But other than that, like, if you fucking with something like Amazon, like, they go have the shit that you want in stock, like, one way or the other.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
Right. Like, everything that I had, I know that people was buying the shit out of the shit that I got. For those prices, oh yeah. If they had the shit in stock, they'll be there later this week. I don't understand why anybody would even want to do that. Like, I wanted to go to the store just in general, like I think Thursday and Friday. I just needed to get some shit.
Yeah.
Fuck that. No. Can't get groceries through Amazon, unfortunately. Well, you can, but I'm not a part of that service. I actually like going to the grocery store to get groceries.
Yeah, that's one thing that you can't deliver to my house.
I don't
trust you to pick out my produce, though.
Yeah, like I fuck that. Because if I get in here and my fucking bananas are green, we got a problem. Because I want to eat my bananas right now, and these shits, they're still growing. What are y'all doing? Yeah. Anyways. But yeah, I was slim, fuck that shit. Everybody got time to be sitting in line for 7 hours just to maybe not get the shit that I want. What?
And, it's just, I listened to something that says, people, because, the economy is supposedly doing great, people are going to spend on average more than $1,000 per person on holiday shopping, getting gifts for other people. And, I've never been a huge gift giving person. Like, if I have something and like I see something that I think would benefit somebody, I would definitely get it for them.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't just buy gifts just to buy gifts. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I want you to buy something and say, like, look, I
actually want.
I thought of you, and I bought this for you.
Right.
Like, I don't like people that shop with a list of people. Like, oh, I got to get this person something. I got to get this person something. No, you don't. You don't have to get anybody anything.
I think about what are the people that I gotta get stuff for. If I were to get some stuff, it would be for probably my mom, my siblings, and one of my other friends. And I really only would get her a gift because I'm under the impression that she's getting me a gift.
See,
So.
right there. Stop right there. That's faulty logic.
Well, I mean, because we already talked about like exchanging gifts before. Okay. I didn't know if she was serious or not, but then she started asking me some weird questions. So I was like, this is real?
No, see, I'm not required because then...
Oh, I'm not required. I know that I'm not required to do it, but I knew it would be a nice gesture to return the favor.
But it's not a nice gesture because you're only getting that person something because you think they're getting you something.
Well, we talked about it, though. We already discussed this previously.
Yeah. I'm personally just not a fan of exchanging gifts. Like, I don't have to get you anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to get you anything because, I just always believe that gifts that you give are in some way, shape, or form correlated to the value that person brings to your life.
Mm-hmm.
So if that person ain't really bringing no value to your life, what you spending money on? Consumption never lies. Somebody gets you a $20 gift, they think you a $20 person.
Well, but what if it's a $20 like that you've really wanted? Like, for instance, well, not I mean,
no, go ahead.
Not necessarily $20, but like, I know that you love socks. Like, you and I have always connected over our love of socks.
And I know that you know that I'm not telling the truth.
Right. So if I am someone who goes and spends $20 worth of socks,
okay,
just because of like great pairs and like you can go to TJ Maxx and get them shits for like $2-3 on the down, regularly.
Okay.
So if I go do that, or even if I go to the Nike store and get like a pair of really fire socks, or get you like a pair of custom socks for like $20 or $30.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's still. I mean,
you're still a $20 person.
I'm still a $20-$30 person.
Really?
But if you got me a pair of custom socks, then that means that you pay attention to detail.
Right.
So see, that time there adds to the value of the gift.
Ah.
See, consumption is money and time.
Okay.
See, if you just looking for the sale, you walk up in the Old Navy, you just get scarves for all the females in your family. Come on, dog.
Okay.
What are we doing?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I've only wanted one thing for the past 5 years, and nobody decides they want to give it to me.
Well, you just told me that was something you wanted for the past 5 years. I
literally
just found that out.
But I don't expect you to give me a gift. I don't want a gift from you.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? There's no price you can put on the value. All right. So there's no price you can put on that. So I don't want a gift from you. But all I want is Amazon gift cards.
Mm-hmm.
I say it every year. Gift cards. I get a t-shirt.
Hell, that's easy. Literally, like,
I don't want you to spend any time.
I would happily do that. Like,
exactly.
I would either get you socks, headphones, like some free sticks.
You can't get me headphones.
Why?
Because there's a specific.
Right.
You can't run up on me with no headphones.
Right. So if I got you some fire headphones.
Yeah, I mean, you got me some fire headphones. I mean, I would say I can't accept this.
Yes, you can.
I wouldn't.
I'd be pissed off as fuck if you said that.
I would tell you to take them back.
Why?
Because I don't want a gift from you.
Why?
Because I don't.
Why?
Our relationship transcends gifts.
Well, yeah, I understand that.
Right, so then if you got me a gift, I'm not accepting that gift.
That's bullshit.
How is that? What you mean? I'm telling you to save.
Let me love you.
No,
Let me be the one to.
Stop. Shout out to Mario, man. That was a hit, man.
Ah, that was a beautiful song.
That was a hit, man.
Back in his cut back to her when he cut his hair off. Oh man.
That was a hit, man. That didn't braid my hair. That was a hit.
Ah yes, beautiful times.
But yeah, man, I just want people to shop. Don't shop for value on like I'm getting a deal. I want people to say, look, if I could put this person, like, how much is this person worth to me? Let me show my full appreciation for this person.
Mm-hmm.
Let's think about gift giving that way, since everybody already spending money like that anyway. Right? But you know what I think? I think people should just save the money because the recession is coming. Unless it's not. Or maybe we're already here. So nobody really knows what's going on with the economy right now.
Yeah, cause to be honest, this recession should have been hit.
Well,
I don't really understand what's going on, to be honest. Then again, I'm not the financial person, you are, so maybe you could partly explain what's going on.
The thing is, you know, economics on a really, you know, simple level isn't all that difficult to understand, right? Because it rolls down to cash, credit, spending, debt. You know those four things you know about how the economy works, right?
CCSD.
There you go. That sounds like a mental disorder.
Right.
Sounds like PTSD's cousin.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, you just gotta know. So as long as spending is good, see what causes depressions and recessions is that people stop spending. Mm-hmm. So see, one person's spending is another person's income, right? So you think about your company, you're a consultant.
Right.
In order for you to get paid, somebody has to pay your consulting company.
True.
And in order for your consulting company to get paid, they have to sell goods that has income. Mm-hmm. So if you spend income, the economy grows. You stop spending, the economy goes down. So how do you spend? Sometimes you borrow from a bank. That's called credit.
You know, I mean, it's one thing better than the strip club.
Right? I mean, about 90% of the GDP is credit. Credit isn't tangible.
No, it's not. I mean, it's really, that's like the most...
Credit is trust.
It's totally like...
I believe that you can pay this back.
Yeah, like this literally, like it's so... Like, I understand the point of it, but it's just like if you're someone that has liquid credit, doesn't... Ideally, it shouldn't matter what credit you doing if you have the liquid to just do whatever the fuck you want.
The economy thrives on credit.
Yes, it does.
Credit gives you the ability to spend more, which is somebody else's income.
Right, and then that's what essentially I feel like that's what makes the dollar almost worthless, because we got off of the gold standard and now we're on
whatever we wanted to
credit.
Be standard.
Now we're on credit. I feel like it's essentially what it is now. It's credit.
Right.
So yeah.
So
that's how we're able to just spend more, not spend more, print more.
But all of the leading indicators, right?
Mm-hmm.
The jobs, certain manufacturing, they're fine. They look like a strong economy. But then you have some indicators like the auto market is going down, which we'll get into later.
Mm-hmm.
Or we'll get into something automotive related later.
Mm-hmm.
The housing market is kind of slowing down. We're just like, oh, wait a minute. And then oil prices are dropping out of the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like, that's never a good sign.
Something's amok.
The FANG stocks are just selling off.
FANG?
Yeah, that's what they call it now.
What is?
I used to call it GAFA, but it's FANG. Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google, big tech stocks.
Netflix?
Right. I didn't think Netflix was a part of that.
Netflix been in debt for like 10 years,
Yeah,
haven't
but their
they?
stock price is going up.
Oh, okay.
And now their stock price is going down.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well,
probably because House of Cards went off.
oh man.
You ask me. It's a great
Probably
ending. Though.
not.
It's a great ending.
But yeah.
I mean, that definitely needs a season 7 though.
For sure.
But they ain't gonna do that.
They just really need to at least give a slight hint at what actually happened to Frank relative to the show.
Exactly.
That's what I was waiting on. I feel like it was, if it's just one episode, not even one episode,
Right, just a one-off episode to show like what happened to Frank.
not even one episode. It don't even got to be a whole episode. Maybe like 10, 15 minutes out of one of these episodes to just explain, like to just show the happenings of what went down after he wasn't pardoned. Because that's definitely important. So.
But see, now that I think about it, I don't know if you remember when the Kevin Spacey stuff first came out, and I said, how long do you think Netflix knew about that? Because that was a seamless storyline. That wasn't a wait, we got to scratch this and start over.
Right.
They knew about that way before we all knew about that. What are we talking about? The economy? Yeah. So you know, the indicators that people are looking at, they're kind of sending mixed signals.
Mm-hmm.
Which is never a good idea. But the one signal that, you know, kind of matters are people spending their money. There are people who are spending their money. Like, the consumer confidence is almost at a record high.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, you know, never really a good thing. Because normally when everybody thinks something is going to go one way, it normally goes the other way and everybody's surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Just like Apple thought, yeah, we released 3 new iPhones. Of course everybody's going to pay $1,400 for one.
Yeah, now...
Like, dog, we like y'all phones is tight, but like, we ain't that dumb. So Apple has to cut production on the iPhone XS.
Yeah.
And they have to start producing more iPhone X's. Because people were like, this is your biggest selling iPhone ever. What's the difference? It's a bigger one of these.
Right.
That's not. I'm not pulling out no money for that.
Yeah, because I mean, overall, there really is nothing different from the X and the XS, other than I think an extra ½ inch or something like that.
Right.
So yeah.
I mean, I just think that, you know, are we finally sticking it to Apple? As like a consumer? Because I have iPhone, you have iPhone.
Well, I mean,
like, are we finally saying, like, all right, Apple, like,
well, because
dog.
the difference was each of the previous generations were actually significant. Like, each new iPhone was a significant upgrade from the previous iPhone. Like, with either new features or new look or whatever the case may be.
No, I don't.
Like, which one?
Because they released the 8 and then they released the 8 Plus.
Oh,
It's
well,
the
I'm
same.
not talking... I guess each new number. Not necessarily the...
Right, but I'm saying it was the 8, then there was a gap, and then it was the 8 Plus, and then there was a gap, and then it was 10, because there's no 9. The 8 Plus was the 9.
Well, here, I guess that's where it starts.
Right.
Not really big. Well, between the 8, because the 8 and the 10 are very different.
Right.
But
it's the same thing with, there's no new number between the X, the XS, and the XR.
right, I'm not considering all of those new phones though, because
Right.
they're all basically the same, just different sizes.
Right, but
or different colors.
But each time they raised the price. When they went from 6 to 6S, they raised the price.
Right, and that's what I think the difference is, like with the previous one, like before that, for instance. Well, I'm not even, because are we including the letters in all of them as well? Because like I'm just thinking from first gen to second gen,
right,
not
number
like
to number.
Yeah, not necessarily the
in between stuff.
in between
but,
shit.
Right, is there an iPhone 7?
Yeah.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought they went from 6 to 6S to 8.
No, it was 6S. It was 7. I believe it was a 7S. Pretty sure it was 7S. And then 8 Plus, 10. And I think, didn't the 8 and the 10 release at the same time?
Oh, yeah, there was.
Yeah.
No, the 8 and the 10 didn't. Because the 10 was special. They released 10 by itself.
Oh,
Because
okay.
it was the 10th one. I mean,
Yeah.
they made a big deal out of that. But yeah, I mean, they're actually dropping the XR price in Japan. Which I was like, oh,
Well,
I don't live in Japan.
That
That doesn't mean anything for me. So, you know, I'm happy that we finally took a stand against Apple. Because Apple...
Yeah, these
Apple
past
was just
few years-
shooting heat checks for the last 5 years. They was like, yeah, everybody's going on sale. Like, they don't do Black Friday.
Mm-mm.
They don't participate in that. Where they offer things that...
Because they know everybody
75%
wants an
off.
iPhone for Christmas.
They said, man, we're going to raise the prices. I was like, we ain't finna buy that. Y'all already got to pay a comma for a phone. Like, we got to add commas to it?
Right.
Nah, son.
Yeah.
Hopefully that leads to Apple cutting its prices.
They probably won't do that. I couldn't
they can't
see that
come out,
unless-
they can't come out with a new iPhone. I mean, everybody's still waiting on a new what? Some kind of new Mac coming out,
Right.
and they all been able to
I feel like they're
gouge their
not.
eyes out with the price of the Mac.
Yeah, I don't think they're not gonna cut prices until they're suffering across the board. Like they've yet to suffer because of their Macs, and they didn't really suffer with their iPods until the iPhone came out. So.
Right, but I mean, they just discontinued the iPod. Even though I think they still support the
make
iPod Touch.
Yeah,
they don't make
still-
any new ones.
They don't make really.
They don't make new iPod Touches.
I could have sworn
but they
I
still
seen them in the
support it.
store.
No, yeah, you can go buy one, but it's. I mean,
Oh.
it's. That one came out in like 2013.
Oh, okay.
They don't.
I remember I had a Touch. Good times.
I want to get one, honestly.
Then it got sold. What a shame. Anyways, yeah, Apple. I mean, like I don't think they're not gonna cut their prices until they're suffering across the board, and they're not gonna suffer across the board because they have the Mac, and people are so enamored with Macs and just Apple products in general. Like, I really don't understand the argument between Apple and the Apple versus Android and Microsoft versus Mac, all this other shit. Like, they serve very different purposes. Like, yes, there are great things about iPhones and there are terrible things about iPhone. I can't search my inbox for shit at all on the iPhone. Literally,
Like emails.
no, like messages.
Oh, I don't even know how to do that.
Most people don't. But like, even if you go in there and try to find something specific, it only gives you like one hit. Rather than like being able to give you multiple hit, like multiple things that you've talked about. If you've talked about the same thing over multiple times. Like, if we were to talk about basketball, the only conversation that would show up was I talked the other day about Duke. Everything before that I would not be able to access, which makes no sense.
I mean, I don't.
Voice texting is also trash on here,
I don't know.
but it looks cool. It looks a lot better. It's the
like-
interface is seamless.
I mean, I don't. I like to live in the moment. I don't.
I mean, hey.
I don't live in the past.
I mean, hey, if you got to do research, you got to do research.
Yeah, I feel you.
But yeah, like, I mean, there are good things and bad things about both.
Well, I mean, I think what people because I had an argument with a friend of mine about this the other day. It was a long time ago, though. Apple and Microsoft, they're competitors, but they're two completely different companies.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't think a lot of people know that.
Apple is exclusivity, and Microsoft is options.
Well, I mean, just take a step back from there. Take about 4 steps back from there. Microsoft is primarily a software company.
True.
Apple is a hardware company.
Yep.
That right there.
I mean, because Apple, they still have iOS. Well, I guess
Right, but
also.
you can put Microsoft Word is everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. That's
it
true.
don't matter what system you got, you can get Microsoft Office for it.
Yeah.
Like, that's they seller.
Yeah, you ain't typing shit up in nothing but Microsoft
Right,
Word.
You ain't got Microsoft Word. What you use on the Mac, I don't know. With y'all Notepad, I don't know what y'all use.
Yeah. I don't
Speaking of not participating in Black Friday, something that probably isn't also Black Friday accessible is plastic surgery.
Sheesh.
I don't think they offer those 50% off.
I don't think they should.
And the reason that I put this on here
Uh-huh.
is because I read something that shocked me, And I think that this is a trend that is dangerous.
What?
That 55% of women,
Of course,
get plastic surgery for the primary reason of looking better in Instagram photos.
Oh God. Oh. Oh, that's a concern. Oh, that's not it.
What? Now, because we gonna get into women later, because I figured y'all out.
Okay.
Y'all,
Talk that shit.
But I think that is an issue.
That is definitely. I mean, plastic surgery in general, to me, isn't it? Unless it's like actually reconstructive from a catastrophic accident that you've been in or something like that. Like,
I mean, even that. No, where are your scars, man? If Harvey Dent can get his face blown off.
well, Harvey Dent isn't real.
But I'm just saying, if he can get his fictitious face blown off and he ain't getting no plastic surgery, you know, I think that you should wear your scars. You know, but I mean, do we blame men for this? Because you hear all of these women. Let me. It's my turn.
Okay.
Let me have the floor for a minute. You hear all of these women that talk about, and I think falsely, put that out there. It's because of the beauty standards placed on women.
That's valid.
We place these beauty standards on women, and so they feel the need to go get concrete shot in their butts because of the beauty standards that we put on them.
Go over to DR and come back look at a certain way. So what you're saying?
You know, so in order for them to be liked, they have to go and get raw concrete shot in their butts, or take skin from somewhere else, or take fat from somewhere else and put it in other places. Now, I'm not buying. I've never bought that, and I never will buy that. I don't care if it's a Black Friday sale. I'm not buying that.
Okay.
But I mean, are we the blame? Do we have some? Do we have to take some culpability for that trend that I just read to you?
I think it's culpability on both sides.
Talk to me.
Because, yeah, like the beauty standard is a very real thing.
No.
It is. I mean, because everywhere we look, what do we see?
No.
I mean, you saying that, but everywhere you look on TV, we see the same thing. We see.
Right, but that's not a beauty standard.
That is a beauty standard.
No, it's not.
Yes,
But go ahead, keep going. I'm not. It's your floor.
So,
keep going.
I think it is definitely both sides, but I think it's mainly because, yeah, that beauty standard is real, but at the same time, what we define as beautiful should not be based solely off of what we see in magazines and on Instagram and on TV and all these other places. Like, one, like, beauty should be something that is self-defined and not by this large standard that everyone likes to go by. So, I mean, that's where it really lies. Like, I mean, when it comes to men, yeah, I mean, a lot of men seek the shit that they see in the magazines and on TV and where else did I say, on Instagram and all that great stuff. But I think it's on us to just be able to look past all of that vanity and be like, well, what is actually beautiful to me? Like, not just the physical shit. Like, what is because beauty to me is way more than just being fine. So, like, once we get past that, and then once we get women to look at, okay, yeah, this is what's in the magazines and on Instagram and on TV, but I'm not that, and that's okay, because I'm still beautiful the way that I am. And then you find a nigga that's just like, yes, you are beautiful the way that you are. And then you go on from there. Because a lot of the times when you got the people who are following this whole Instagram standard and trying to be fine by the beauty standard, they're empty people. Like, there's nothing else there. They just fine as hell. Don't get me wrong. You cute to the motherfucker, but well, what else? What else we got? I mean, I have to do at some point. I have to not be looking at you. Like we have to have a conversation and do other things that are not just revolving around how beautiful you are. So that's where I stand on that.
I mean, so you argue something and then you disprove your statement, right?
I mean,
so you said
yeah.
that there's this beauty standard there that
Yes.
we shouldn't be looking at.
Yes.
So
people, but the reality is people still look at it.
Right,
what I'm saying is we should.
You have to differentiate beauty from attraction. I think there is an attraction standard. What is attractive and what isn't.
Okay.
But if you want to be attractive, what's also attractive is confidence.
Great personality.
Charisma.
Yeah.
That's attractive.
Very much so.
Bill Clinton.
I know that firsthand.
Bill Clinton ain't, you know.
He ain't a looker.
He ain't Brad Pitt. You know what I'm saying?
He ain't a looker. I'll tell you that
but
much.
people are drawn to Bill Clinton.
He got that swag.
So what I'm saying is, you're not ever going to blame me because you feel bad about the way you look.
Okay.
You cannot ever blame somebody else because you don't have self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
In the words of Cat Williams, it's called self-esteem. How can I mess up the way you feel about you, simple woman?
I mean, and that's true.
So
and
then if you can admit that the women who are chasing after this standard, this beauty standard,
mm-hmm.
are simple women,
but I think
then I agree with you.
But I also think it's on us as men to not chase that, to not chase women who abide by that standard. I think that's where we have to be accountable for that.
You don't have to be accountable for that because we want what we want.
No,
If you
you full of shit, dog.
How?
You full of shit, dog. Because I mean, you can't sit here and put all of the onus on women for that.
No, I'm saying
that's literally what you're doing.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's literally what you're saying.
I'm not saying. I'm saying that you can't tell me to change what I think is attractive.
I'm not. Are we talking about the beauty standard or the attraction standard?
We're talking about both of them.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, what do I always say? What are my pillars here? Assets, value.
Okay.
Right? So if I want the temporary value of what you look like, you can't deny that from me.
Okay.
So if you don't have what I'm looking for, you have to find other ways to add value. Not everybody can shoot the three like Steph Curry. Somebody got to play defense. There are more than one roles on the team. If everybody trying to average 20, we lose. So that's what I'm saying. If that ain't you, then you got to do something else to make yourself as valuable. So I can say, okay, well I got this, but I got this too.
But I
equal value. Then let's start to differentiate, because you got women who aren't the attraction standard. They aren't they dismiss themselves from being in the beauty standard because you automatically go into a situation saying I'm not attractive. So then your charisma is off,
mm-hmm.
and now you're not beautiful because you have something inside of you that's messed up because of the way you look on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
That's not my fault. That's your fault.
That's not.
Then why am I being held accountable for that?
I'm not saying you're being held accountable for that.
So what am I being held accountable for?
I'm saying that we as men have to realize that there's more than just the fucking beauty standard that we're always chasing.
But I'm saying it's up to the women to show me that there's more. Show me that there's more there. Because if I see you and you're not a looker and there's nothing else there, it's all negative, then of course I'm not going to think you're beautiful.
Okay.
So at least I know you passed the initial test. Then I get in a year down the line, I realize that she's all looks and
mm-hmm.
nothing. And that's why they're still on Instagram. Posting pics because they're single.
Yeah.
So
because I've definitely talked to a few of these the Instagram folks that are just beautiful on there, and it's just nothing.
Right.
Like I'm just trying to have a conversation. It's very hard.
I feel that's who I feel the worst for. I feel bad for Instagram models. I feel like it hurts me to my soul.
Why?
To feel bad for very attractive women.
Why?
Because they just are destined to fail.
Why? Oh, because they're not. They what?
They've never had to
develop a personality.
They've never had to develop it because they don't have. They can get anything they want just because of the way they look. So then you go there and there's nothing there because there's never had to be anything there. Mm-hmm. That's where the women who aren't the lookers have the freaking advantage. If you would just look, if you would just stop worrying about what they look like and worrying about developing who you are as a person, you're going to win in the long run.
I mean, this is true.
All these models there, and they always in relationships like this and get out of relationships like that.
I mean, this is true.
So again, what are we blaming men for?
I mean, what I'm saying is not going to change.
No, I'm asking, what are we blaming men for?
I didn't say we were blaming men for anything.
You just said we had to be held responsible. What are we being held responsible for?
I've already said, we have to be willing to see that there is more than just the fucking attraction standard that we've been talking about this whole time. That's it. Because it's a vicious cycle. That's all it is. It's a vicious cycle between everybody.
But the women are the one who can stop the cycle.
We can't ignore the men because men go through this same type of thing.
No, what are you whispering for? You're exactly right.
I'm just saying, man.
Say it with your chest.
The same type of thing.
Say it with your chest.
For the women out there who are listening, don't.
Say it with your chest.
Don't come for us because we know that
what
this is also.
What are you whispering about?
Thank you. All right. So.
What are you whispering about? That's right.
No, really, no. This
right.
really is.
Men go through the exact same thing.
Men go through the exact same thing.
And you know
I've
what
been going through the same. I've been through this plenty of times.
It don't matter how much you spend in the gym.
Right.
If you don't have intangible factors, you ain't getting no women. So what does that do? It forces us to develop intangible factors. So when we as women do the same thing, it's, oh no, we give them a handicap, but you want to be treated like equals.
Okay.
I want to treat you like an equal. But I can't treat you like an equal if you always got these caveats here. Oh, the women beauty standard. What? I've been trying to get a six-pack for 6 years. Can't get one to save my life.
But it's not, have you been doing that for the beauty standard?
No. At some point it became a personal challenge. But at the same time,
nah, dog, because facts, I'm not going to even lie. I mean, shit, I'm the same way.
No, but I'm saying, since I'm not able to get to that beauty standard, I'm not a looker. I don't have either the genetics, I like sweets too much. I mean, that might probably be it, if you're being honest. But it's forced me to develop some intangible qualities so that when people talk to me and people get to know me, they realize, yeah, he's a little weird, but the depth of personality is there. Mm-hmm. So, see, it's a difference between a shallow woman that looks good and a shallow woman that doesn't look good. See, so if you look good and you shallow, I already know that. Mm-hmm. But it's the women that don't have the same looks as the other women and you still shallow? What are you doing?
Trash. You
saying the world, the standard is set up against those women, so you gonna kick yourself in the vagina, in the pussy?
That's crazy.
You gonna threaten yourself?
How would you even do that? That's hard.
Exactly. You gonna punch yourself? Come on, dog. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that men have to be held accountable.
Okay.
Women get better.
Men get better too. Shit.
Exactly, because one man needs to get better. He's the chairman of Nissan. Got arrested for financial misconduct.
What the fuck
now, there's a whole lot of
mean?
Misconducts out there. First time I ever heard financial misconduct. So basically...
But there's a lot of things that could be financial misconduct.
I hear you. But basically, because I don't know where this guy's located.
Yeah, they don't...
This guy, he's in China. So Carlos... I don't know how to say his name. Ghosn.
Carlos Ghosn, I'm assuming.
Okay.
Ghosn?
Right. Carlos Ghosn, who is the chairman of Nissan, got arrested for financial misconduct. So basically, after reading up on that, it's basically tax evasion. But that's a really weird way to put it. Because it's not a whole lot of, this is all allegations.
You can evade taxes in China?
but apparently he was understating his income by about $44 million over a 5-year period.
Sheesh. In China? Oh, they finna have his head.
Right, and yeah, he's. They say he ain't getting nothing but rice and miso soup. And
really?
yeah,
That's what he
he's
said?
detained right now. Oh, Japan.
Oh.
He's detained in Japan.
Okay.
But yeah, they say he ain't getting nothing but rice and miso soup.
Yeah, these are definitely a Japanese company.
No, the report is coming from Hong Kong. But it's Japan.
Okay. He ain't getting nothing but rice and miso soup?
Yeah.
Miso soup is, it's a good miso soup?
I mean, come on, it's prison miso soup. They probably spit in that.
I mean, okay. These are facts.
Reason it's the big story is because, a lot of people may not know this, but Nissan, Renault, who's the French car dealer. Renault.
Yeah, Renault.
My bad. I know you French, I'm not. You know French and I don't. And Mitsubishi are all in an alliance.
Yep.
That accounts for about 10 to 11% of the world's cars.
Mm-hmm. It's between them, Toyota, Honda. I think just those alone. I think that those three alone are about 40-50%. Yeah, Nissan, Toyota, Honda, maybe Hyundai. I forget the other ones. There's a bunch out there. And the Honda, because Honda is huge. Honda and Toyota are both huge conglomerates. So.
Right, but this partnership is going to be bigger than all of them.
Right. Essentially, all of the car conglomerates not named Volkswagen or like GM are coming from Japan. If y'all didn't know that.
And
so yeah.
So it's apparently the charges is going to be filing a false financial statement. Which
one in specific or five
over a period. Like that's the charge.
Okay.
And so they've removed him as chairman, but I think he's still on the board for now.
Mm-hmm.
As it goes to a vote.
Chairman of the board. Okay.
And, a lot of people are saying, all right, well, what is this going to do for this alliance? Because if this alliance breaks up, that's billions of dollars in costs.
Yeah.
That sends a ripple effect through the whole automotive industry.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Nissan was the one that took over most of the incurred manufacturing costs for both Renault and Mitsubishi. I actually did some research over this a few years ago. So, yeah.
So,
yeah.
That's rough.
This could get bad.
See,
this could get real bad.
This is the type of misconduct that I want to focus on more. I don't want to sexual misconduct is a huge deal.
Hey, tread lightly, please.
I'm not going to say nothing bad. I'm just saying it's a huge deal, but it's not a bigger deal than people providing false financial statements. It is not, because that ends companies. You know how many people who were employed by this alliance? 470,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
That might be in 200 countries. That's affecting the world economy.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know that when people's money started getting funny, a whole lot of stuff don't matter no more.
Shit start wilding.
Right, when people money start getting funny, the whole lot of stuff don't matter no more.
True.
So I think that's the trend. Everybody masking up at this sexual misconduct stuff. What are these dudes doing when it's time to file financial statements?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see about that.
These
tread lightly.
This is
Unprofessional opinion. We don't tread lightly. We don't have no tread.
All right.
Our tires are bald.
But yeah, this could get very, very interesting. If that ends up breaking up the alliance, I don't. It probably won't.
No, they saying that they would be stupid to do that.
Yeah, they probably won't. If anything, Mitsubishi and Renault will probably use this to leverage a better percentage out of the alliance.
Renault already has a 43% stake in Nissan.
And that's what I'm saying. They're probably trying to leverage even more off of this.
It didn't become Renault. They can't.
Well, yeah, but it's just damn. I don't know. I know Renault and Mitsubishi will probably use this to their advantage somehow.
But
I don't
do you
know
think-
how, but they will.
But do you think that the Nissan chairman just acted alone? Like, if you have a 43% stake, if you're Renault, and you got a 43% stake in Nissan, and the financial statements are looking weird, don't nobody know that at Renault? Don't nobody know that at Mitsubishi?
But they probably did know that.
Right, so then they can't leverage a higher percentage. They was like,
Well, they probably knew. They just didn't say nothing.
No, of course they ain't say nothing.
Right. Fuck. So yeah.
They got mad.
So yeah.
Yeah, let's go ahead and stay out east. Oil prices are under $50 a barrel. They're 50 and below. It now costs me $31 to fill up. Down from about 44 a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now, normally when the gas prices start dropping like that, it doesn't mean a whole lot. It means it very seldomly doesn't mean good things for the overall economy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's Saudi Arabia apparently is the, let Trump say it, Saudi Arabia is just doing us a favor. Low oil prices.
Mm-hmm.
What it normally means is that the dollar is getting stronger. And that's not good.
Why is that not good?
Because the dollar, the US dollar is pretty much the global currency. Any international thing is done in dollars. So that means it's costing more to import stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yikes on bikes.
Exactly. So when it starts costing more to import stuff, that means prices are getting ready to start going up. When prices go up, people don't want to buy anymore because they think that you're trying to do one over on. Right?
Thanks.
You walk in there and the Jolly Rancher used to be $2.79 a bag and now they $3.29 a bag. I'm not buying that. What?
Fight me. Come. Fuck y'all thought this was. Y'all thought I was just gonna let y'all.
But I'm going to enjoy this while it lasts. I'm going to get gas right after this podcast. Yeah, I'm only on half a tank. What you mean?
I mean, these are facts.
$2.29? I'm applying. Yes, sir.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I will definitely do that.
Fill up off 40.
And I fill up everything in the house. There's stuff that I don't even need gas for. I just, hey, you need to go to the gas station?
Right, you got a lawnmower.
Fill that up too.
Grass ain't cut. But
yeah, man.
this ought to be interesting.
Yeah, it's just something that,
When do you think shit is really going to hit the fan? Speaking of that in recessions and shit.
I don't know. That's the thing. Like, depending on which indicators you look at, it's sending mixed signals.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that would have been a great segue. But anyway, the oil prices, a strong dollar is not a great sign, but people are still confident in the economy and people are still spending money. So as long as you're spending money, the economy is not going to just go in the tank like it did in 08. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
what happened in 08 was, the stock market's going down, give me all my money in cash. No credit.
I mean,
No spending. Well, if you can't spend, I have to lay people off. Well, that means more people without money to spend. And then the cycle continues, and then, the stock market's down 75 million %. It's zero.
75 million%.
Exactly. The stock market is zero. And then, with that being said, you have the Federal Reserve thinking about raising interest rates, which means it's going to cost more to borrow. And when it costs more to borrow, the banks don't want to lend out as much money.
Mm-hmm.
Less credit. Less credit, less spending. And
Less
the
credit,
cycle
more
goes.
strips. I'm playing.
Right, more people in the strip club.
More people in the strip club.
That's straight cash business, guy.
Right.
So oil prices are just an interesting thing to look out for.
Well, because the thing is, do we have a bubble that we're in that's been a pop right now? Like, because usually
people
all
call
of
it a
these
tech
recessions
bubble.
are always in a bubble.
I mean, people are saying that's why a lot of people think we're already in recession. Some people think that we're already in a recession now. because you have the quote unquote tech bubble, the FANG stocks. They're all people are just selling them off.
Oh, so right now because of the plummet currently.
Yeah, people are thinking that this is maybe the beginning or part of a tech bubble that may be bursting. And, that may be true. It may not be true. Because the market is actually down for the year compared to this time last year. So, it's not like a whole lot of people are making money on the stock market. My 401k and my other company is not making any money. Losing money, actually. Making me mad. But yeah, so I just want to give people things to look out for. Right? Man. You want to help people look.
Just look
right?
for it.
And,
eyes wide shut.
Right, so, let's go a little bit to the west.
Okay.
I like it.
Okay.
I put this topic in here because I remember you saying, it may have been our Kanye episode, when Kanye was at his wildest. But you said something about rebuilding Africa.
What did I say?
You said that you thought that if we took all the black people and we actually did the Marcus Garvey back to Africa, I think that was Marcus Garvey.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that was Marcus.
Back
Brother
to Africa
Marcus.
movement, that we could build a power in Africa.
I do believe that we could do that.
Right. So
that's not on the Hotep shit. Like I really do believe we have the resources to be able to to build up our own shit.
No, I believe
if we get past all of the bullshit that we done learned from all of the rest of the world.
Right. So. When this topic flashed across the screen, I was like, this is an interesting topic, because Africa is urbanizing.
Yeah.
And it's urbanizing really quickly. It's the fastest growing continent in the world. But there's no urban development planning being done. So you have people just building big buildings without people to occupy them.
Right.
Like with no space on how this is going to
be used and be paid for.
They're just building buildings.
Right.
Y'all sure y'all want to go back to Africa? You sure?
If this building's there already for us. It's buildings there already. We ain't gotta go over there and build. The building's already there, so we could just go there and create the plan. Like we could create the plan and go, and the hardest part, which is probably building the building, is already done.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, bro.
I understand.
Scary.
I understand what you're saying, but really, if you go through the whole process of planning, of urban development, I can imagine that the hardest part would be actually getting to the point of building the building.
Well, but you have to understand all the steps before building the building.
Well, yeah, and
you have to say, okay, this is going to be a city.
Yeah,
and it's going to have these. It's going.
This is going to be a city,
and it's going to have this outer perimeter.
Well, yeah,
and then there are going to be streets, and we're going to put those here with these intersections.
Oh, so that's what you mean by urban? Literally civil engineering development,
building.
There are no actual roads or anything.
No, they're thinking about using drones. Trying to use drone technology to help the planning process.
That could be cool.
That's what I'm saying. Africa has already, because of the history of Africa, been stripped of a lot of its natural resources.
Right.
Now, a lot of that could be renewable. There could be a wealth of natural resources there. So, I don't want to build a building underneath a diamond field. Underneath the coal mine where there's diamonds.
Diamonds are intrinsically worthless.
That is your phrase.
They are.
No, I'm not. That's not a shot. I'm saying you could build some merch behind that. You put that on a hoodie and you can sell that.
Oh, that would be fire.
Right.
That would be fire.
You just have all the diamond jewelers, just X's in front of them. Worthless. K Jewelers. You ripping off America.
Right. It would just be diamonds are intrinsically worth, with just a diamond under it.
Right.
And then a cross through it. A red cross through it.
Exactly.
A red
That's
cross
what
of
I'm saying.
blood. This would be hard.
I like that.
I
I
need
told
to
you. That's what I'm saying. Like that would be that if you don't make it with music,
I need to ask in Womsky.
you do.
Okay. Anyways.
But
I mean, it just depends. Like, I feel like, yeah, like the buildings are already built, and they might be in some shitty places. But I feel like it might be.
That's an issue.
It might be in some shit. Like, we don't even know for a fact. Like, it might be in some
because
shitty places.
they don't know for a fact.
Right. So I think eventually, if that were to happen, we would maybe have to. I feel like you would have to eventually chop that up to the game. It's just like, well, we don't know what's under this building, but it's here now. We're not going to tear it down. That costs millions of more dollars to do.
I mean, but I'm just saying, you know, and I'm going to get to this with the last topic.
Mm-hmm.
The disorganization there. Because, I mean, if you just send a whole... Because you already know that there's an African beef that we don't want to talk about because, you know, we scared of the Africans. I ain't gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
We have the tiniest bit of fear of pure Africans. Like the 100% African.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, nigga, we ain't messing with them. Like, so if y'all go over there, the Africans ain't gonna be like, oh, Americans, y'all could just come help us plan. No, because we the ones that got away, according to them.
LOL.
You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all didn't try
mean,
to save us or nothing, but...
I mean, there is, you know, that is a mini beef that has to be talked about. Which, I mean, it's a lot of things in general with black folk that need to be talked about before we can, you know, move on up in the rest of the world. I mean the debates go, I mean, light skin, dark skin, HBCUs and PWIs, like Africans. And,
what is PWI?
Primarily white institution.
Oh, there's an acronym for that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like HBCUs versus PWIs, African Americans versus Africans.
Wait, can we get to the HBCU versus the other colleges for a second?
No, I don't want to talk about this because it's the dumbest shit.
No, I don't even know what that argument is being said. Like, what, they calling you sellout if you go to...
Nah, essentially like...
I just want to know the
It's
basic
just
argument.
it's just an argument all the time about which is better and why. And so people, like ignorant people from HBCUs, are just like, oh, we have a better experience and all this other shit, and we were taught to love being black and all this stuff. And the ignorant people from PWIs is just like, we get better jobs and we don't have to worry about resource issues. It's just a bunch of dumb shit. Like the arguments serve no purpose, to be honest. They serve no purpose at all. Like, if you're in college, you're in college. And everyone, you're going to be fine regardless because you're in college. Like, who... Like, come on now. Like, it makes no sense. So
I'm glad you brought that up.
So...
You said that you're in college. You're in college. You're going to be fine no matter what. Because that is an argument
I mean, well, not...
for why parenting may be overrated.
Okay, now, I don't know what the fuck you're going with that. What the fuck you're going with that?
It's a question I want to ask. Is parenting overrated?
No.
I mean, you didn't even let me...
Well, you asked the question, so...
You didn't even let me fill out the things.
But you asked it, so I said no. But go ahead. Go ahead.
I hate when you kill my momentum like that.
All right, well, come here.
I don't know why you do it. But
why would you think that?
No, I don't think that parenting is overrated. I just want to ask the question.
Okay. Well, why would you ask this question?
The argument for parenting being overrated is because of, there have been studies in genetics. There have been, twin studies where you have two twins and you send them off to different families. And you watch them for a long time. And they meet each other 20 years later, not knowing that they were related. Mm-hmm. And they're very similar people. Mm-hmm. They're raised by two different sets of parents, but they themselves are very similar people. They're interested in the same things. Mm-hmm. They're good at the same things. They're bad at the same things. Mm-hmm. Obviously, they look alike.
Right. Okay.
Right? They're about the same level of intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, so what did the parenting have to do if they were going to turn out pretty much similar?
Well,
right?
I feel like twins is different because they're almost the same. Like,
right,
same age group and everything. So they're getting the same experience almost.
Well, yeah, not if you're getting raised by two different sets of parents.
Wait, what are you talking about? Oh, you're saying twins being split up.
Twins.
Okay.
Being adopted by two different families.
Oh, I totally missed that part.
Okay.
My bad. That I got myself.
Yeah, twin studies. Twins
okay, and they end up being the same. Okay.
They end up being some, and they have something like, your weight. Your weight is 70% genetic.
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter what your parents tell you about eating right. You either gonna be fat or you're not gonna be fat. Like, it ain't really got a whole lot to do with what what you're being instructed to do by your parents.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you have that argument is now coming to the forefront.
Okay.
So we reach, and so is parenting overrated in terms of the impact of how it affects your life? If you had different parents, would you be a different person?
How different of parents?
I mean, what you mean how different?
I mean, like what kind? Like,
I mean, I don't know your parents.
My parents versus maybe your parents, or like.
Right. So our parents are probably different.
Yeah.
So yeah. So say that. Like if my dad was now your dad,
right,
and my mom was now your mom,
and the same for you.
Yeah. Would we still be here right now shooting this podcast? According to the geneticists, they're saying probably.
So are they saying that you could essentially not be parented at all and just not be parented at all and just be given basic shit to live, like food and shelter, and you're going to turn out to be the same person?
I'm quoting one of the people that I listened to this debate that was arguing for the notion that parenting is overrated.
Also, is this are we saying it is purely based on human involvement?
What are you talking about?
For instance, like because I've heard stories of kids being like raised up in the woods or something, like being surrounded by animals.
Yeah, this isn't like we're not talking about the extremes of the
yeah,
extreme.
Like you're. I was raised by a pack of wolves, and now I'm me.
Right,
like,
no.
I'm here now. My mom is Balto.
Balto.
Like,
very underrated Disney animated film.
Great film.
We got to Power rank those at some point.
Okay. Power rank underrated Disney films?
No, Power rank just Disney films.
I feel like we got to go with
Disney, Pixar will combine them into one. Okay. I don't know which ones.
Oh man. Oh, that'd be a hell of an episode.
I mean, that might deserve a whole special.
That would be a whole special. But yeah,
because the unprofessional opinion listeners, they haven't seen our power ranking ability.
It's true.
They haven't seen our ability to power rank.
We still haven't finished that RB breaking. We did not finish it. We never finished that. That's like that should have been 3 years in the works.
Well, it's not really. It's. What's the hold up on that?
I don't know. We just stopped doing it. I don't know. Maybe you got tired of listening because it was like 600 albums you had to listen to.
I had all of the seedings done.
Right.
Oh, okay, whatever.
But
we'll talk about that later.
Anyways, I don't really know. I mean, because when it comes down to it, like I definitely picked up traits from both my mom and my dad that have molded me into who I am.
But did you pick up those traits because of their parenting, or did you pick up those traits because
of the genetics?
Right. That's what the geneticists argue. Yeah, I have a quote from one of them. Hold on. I have a quote from one of them that says, parenting accounts for at most 10% of what you eventually turn out to be.
Well, the difference is because my situation. Yes. My dad and my father are two totally different people.
Exactly.
So, are the traits in me? I feel like most of the traits that I get are from my mom and my dad because I don't really know my father like that.
Right. I mean,
So I don't really know. I guess I would have to go get to know him a bit more and see how similar we are, other than the fact that I maybe look like him.
right.
That's interesting. Because I definitely feel like I've picked up more traits from my dad, and that has helped to mold me much more than my father. But I mean, are the geneticists saying otherwise? They're saying
I mean,
fuck
right?
that.
They're saying that it didn't matter if you spent 24 hours a day with your dad and y'all was, cooling all the time, or if the dude just gave you, basic survival needs.
Mm-hmm.
Food, water, shelter, clothes.
Right.
You would be very similar to who you are now.
I'd be doing just fine.
Shout out, boys, man.
Shout out. I'm actually doing very well without you on my mind.
'Cause time did make you stronger.
I mean, times, and you're no longer on my mind.
I don't need you anymore.
At all. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really know about that. Damn, that's pretty interesting though. I feel like we're starting to develop more and more theories that there's a lot more connected to our genetics than we think.
Yeah.
Like a lot more. Which is why I believe, when it comes to just random offshoot, like the LGBTQIA community, I feel like a lot of that literally is genetics. Like, I feel like it could be genetics mixed with brain shit. Like, I really do. But that's why I believe, versus like the transgender issue, and like actually being born gay and all this other stuff. Like, I do believe that all of that is actually valid, and I think it could partly be explained through the help of genetics one of these days. So. I mean, that's just a random offshoot.
The only question I would ever have about that is, where did the genes come from?
Maybe they're recessive.
So there's a recessive gay gene out there?
I mean, that could just like
is that what you?
I mean,
saying?
maybe just know. Like left-handed is more so recessive, because like there are a lot more right-handed people than left-handed people. So I can only assume that being left-handed is recessive. Maybe being gay is also a recessive gene. Or like transsexuality, that whole thing, maybe that is all recessive genes genetically, which is why they're an extreme minority.
Right, but they're coming from somewhere. So you're saying that it was recessive all the way back?
Right. And so, I mean, like, genotypes, phenotypes, like it's generic. Oh, so you're asking like the overall origin, like literally since the dawn of time of where it came from?
Like, no, I'm saying that like, if you're gay
mm-hmm.
and no one else in your family is gay, then where did that come by? Recessive genes, from my understanding, at some point they die, right? At some point a recessive gene either comes from a dominant gene in somebody's family.
I forget how that works.
And then, because
I didn't know
recessive
genes die.
just keeps getting passed on and on and on.
Yeah, I mean,
all of a sudden it becomes dominant somewhere else.
Well, because if you have a dominant and recessive, and then another dominant and recessive.
Right, but see, that's what I'm saying. You switch hands, so that means that if you have gay straight,
and then gay straight,
right? If you
like
have
the Punnett square,
right? If the straight gene is dominant here. And then the straight gene is dominant here, and the straight gene is dominant here, and straight gene is dominant here. But how does it become, the gay gene become dominant 5 iterations down the line?
I don't think it becomes dominant. Because remember, like, you remember the Punnett square. Like, it's the 2 genes up top and 2 genes on the left, and then it's random. So if randomly it gets chosen as both recessive, you could get child.
But what I'm saying, how do you get randomly both when it's dominant? Because you have heterosexuality as the kid being born.
Well, because that's the thing. If you both get, I mean, you're not having a kid if.
Right. That's my only question about the whole gay thing. It's got to be dominant. So you have to have a gay person that's lying about being gay, and the gene be dominant somewhere where a kid is born.
Nah, I don't think so. Because if for instance, if you're a gay person, and if we're saying that,
All right, can we stop? Can we change it from gay person?
okay,
Like eye color. Whatever,
okay,
right?
like okay, so if you're right-handed,
Okay.
like if you got somebody that's right-handed,
Mhm.
dominant recessive, and you got someone else who's right-handed, dominant recessive,
Mm-hmm.
and then they have a left-handed child, that means they have two
Right.
recessive genes.
I mean, there is a chance that the child could be left-handed.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, according to the Punnett Square, if that left-handed person meets someone who's right-handed, who is dominant right-handed, their child will be right-handed. But they'll still have the left-handed recessive gene.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So that child just can't become left-handed.
I mean, unless they
That's-
teach themselves how to do that. Yes.
Right, because both of my parents are right-handed,
Mm-hmm.
and their parents are right-handed, I think.
Right. And
But
you're
I-
right-handed.
I have a very functional left hand.
But you were taught to be functional with your left hand.
No, I was not.
So you naturally picked up the basketball with your left?
Right-handed. No, when my first shot ever with a basketball was right-handed.
Right. And then somewhere along the line, you went left.
Right.
So you're ambidextrous, and I think that
So then
is
what happens there?
I don't know what happens with ambidextrous, but I mean that could have the point of the matter is
Right.
I
You're
think
saying
it
there's
really
more
could.
genetics.
I think that it could be definitely like a gene that is legitimately passed on. Maybe it'd be dominant or recessive. Because I mean, if you get two gay folks together and they're both recessive, they're not having a child, and if they did have a child, then by biology it would be a gay child.
Right. And I'm all for that. But
Right.
I just want to see that happen.
Well, that wouldn't happen.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Like, if you could show me that, then I would be more inclined to believe. Because, for me, I had a whole nother layer to that. And
I hope no one gets angry at this conversation. We were legitimately trying to think this out.
Yeah.
like I was legit like damn, you actually got me thinking about biology and shit.
Right.
Okay, moving on.
Another thing that I figured out?
What?
Women.
What'd you figure
I
out?
figured it out, man.
What'd you figure
I figured out what women want, man.
What do they
DMX.
want?
What do
out? What do they
want?
need?
All right. So
What a
I
girl
originally
wants,
wasn't gonna put
what
this
a girl
topic.
needs. What a...
Yo, I would.
That song was a banger.
I would be absolutely lying if I didn't blast that in my car every time it comes on my playlist.
That song is a
I
banger.
blast that.
That song is a banger.
I mean,
It's about time that I make up my mind.
what is that? That's not the same song, is it?
Wait, what song you talking about?
I'm talking about the Christina Aguilera song. What a Girl Wants.
Hold on, let me keep going. I'm gonna Google this. Hit Google's real quick.
So I originally wasn't going to put this topic on here. Or I put it on here and I took it off because I feel like I'm risking sounding really dumb. That I think a lot of people know this already. And AJ said, "No, put it on there and let's talk about it."
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna talk about it. So I think that I figured out what women want in a man. Right? What they're looking for when they start courting, when they get out there, because it is, the start of cuffing season when it gets cold, and it really ain't got cold yet.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's starting to get consistently cold. People are trying to cuff. Right? So I think why women are so complicated, because what they want is really simple, but it's how they want
I was
it.
totally singing a different song.
Okay. Yo, people act like Christina Aguilera's first album wasn't a classic. It is. Definitely is. We do classic pop albums. That's getting on there. Where was I at? Oh, so what they want, AJ,
Mm-hmm.
is attention. Duh, right? Of course they do. Of course women want attention.
Everybody wants
But-
attention.
They want, it's like 3D attention. What are you laughing at?
Keep going.
It's like 3D attention, right? So They want a man who can satisfy all three dimensions of the attention that they need.
What are those three dimensions?
So, they need attention from the man itself, right? Intimate attention.
Yeah.
I want you to spend time with me. Time is being spent.
Yeah. Quality time. Love it.
They want attention from other men. They want to walk out. They want people to be like, you know, hey, she's fine.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to go up and talk to her.
That's a bad right there.
Right?
I love bad. That's a fucking problem. I love bad. That's my problem. And yeah, I like that. That's my problem.
The radio edit song. What happened to A$AP Rocky? He just stopped being a rapper.
I mean,
I haven't heard anything from A$AP Rocky.
He was on Jeezy's song. I forget the name of it. It was a very popular song. It was him, Jeezy, Cardi B, Juicy J, a bunch of folks. It was a big record. I forget though. Wait, he released the album early this year. What? He totally released the album. He released the album over the summer.
Oh, it must have been that good. It must not have been that good.
It was cool.
Yes, it is.
It was cool.
Yeah, we know what cool means.
It wasn't amazing.
We know what cool means.
I mean, 6 out of 10. Probably 5.
Average.
Have you listened to it?
No, I didn't. I had no idea it existed.
Yeah, go listen to it.
Oh. His first album was really good though.
It was. But
I thought
please.
A$AP was on his way. But
We're getting off topic. Play my bad.
They want attention from other women. From other women. That is the third dimension. Right? They want to have other women be jealous of them. So when they look for a man, right, that man has to be able to make women jealous.
That man has to what?
To make the other women jealous. Like, oh man, look at her. She got this perfect man. I wish he was my man. Blah, blah, blah. Right? They want their girlfriend to be a little bit jealous that she is in a relationship with him. Like, oh, that man, like, he has his stuff together. That, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
No?
So you're saying that women want other women to what is it? Seek their man?
Yes.
Okay.
But they don't want that man to be like a Superman. They want other men to think, oh, I can take her from him. And they want a man who is going to spend time with them, do all the intimate, lovey-dovey stuff. So they can go brag to their girls about it. And they want a man who is ambitious, going after something, but not enough that they can't do the lovey-dovey stuff. So that gives them time to go out single, girls' night out, and have the other dudes talk to them. That's why it's complicated. Because that man doesn't exist.
I'm glad that you've I'm not gonna lie, we've known this.
We've known that.
And we've talked about this before, actually.
I don't think we talked about it in that way.
Not in detail.
See, I knew other people knew this.
Essentially, a lot of women they want conflicting things. They want a popular guy who you know is being sought after by both men and women, but not too popular. They want a guy who has ambition, but not so much ambition that he doesn't have time for. They want a guy who wants to give them the quality time, but not too much quality time, so that they can go do the things that they also want to do. It's a lot of conflicting things that you want.
But now I know why they're going to do it.
Why they're what?
Why they want what they want.
Right.
Because they have to say they have a certain threshold for each dimension of attention that they want.
And I don't think they realize that a lot of those dimensions of attention were, wow. Dimension of attention.
That's fire.
That is hard. That's another one. That's another sweatshirt I do.
DOA right there.
They don't, I think a lot of just people in general realize that the dimensions of attention that we just discussed are conflicting.
I don't think they're conflicting.
All three together
I don't
are
think
conflicting.
they want 100 of each one though. See, that's where the men have to decipher. That takes more than one date to decipher that.
Right.
Is how much of each dimension of attention does this woman require?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this woman just really wants to be sought after by other men.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not the woman for you.
I mean,
you know? Or like maybe this woman just really wants to be the popular one in her friend group.
mm-hmm.
You know? So then you got to step up your game so that she can go and brag.
Right.
You know, so like I said, I don't, because you know me, I don't leave my house a lot. So
I mean, these are facts.
That's obvious because you just said everybody knew that. So, but I'm just like, you know, that's crazy how they think that dude exists. Like, dog, you're not finna find.
I'm telling you, I think that's why, like,
I can go ahead and tell you, where my issue is dimension number 1. The intimacy dimension.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, dog, if you're looking from that from me, you better go find somebody else. And I don't even care. I'll let you leave. This isn't for you.
Mm-hmm.
You can leave. Because I'm so focused on doing what I gotta do. Right? Because I got my own whys over here. Right? If you're not gonna be priority number 4, if you're not gonna be the 4th string and you not cool with that, it really ain't a whole lot for us to talk about.
I believe I think that these dimensions of attention is the reason why open relationships and polygamy might actually work.
No, I can't give it no polygamy. But open relationship, I can't.
Wow.
No, because you saying that you married to all of these. No, bro, we can't be married. Like we could be in an open relationship, cool, but
open marriage.
We can't be married to all of them.
Okay, so open. Marriage.
Swingers.
Swingers. Okay.
I mean, Will and Jada, aren't they swingers? Or were they allegedly swingers?
They've been accused of that so many times, and
Right.
they've denied it so many times.
I mean, but like I'm cool with
guys. They just love each other. Is that like what's wrong with that, guys? They just love each other.
No, I mean I'm cool with saying like, yo, you need to get one off. Go with my man's over. Like I know y'all not finna cheat.
Get my man's over here.
Right, like my man's over here is married. Like he not finna try to take you. Dog, you go ahead and do what you got to do.
Right.
I'm working. So for people like me, the dimensions of attention is very hard to comprehend.
True.
Because
because you don't need any of them. You personally don't need any of those dimensions of attention
at all
to do what you do.
Not at all.
So,
but second, like I can't provide you with at least 3 of those dimensions. That's all of them.
Right.
I can't because
as no man can. No man can.
I think that there are people out there who can do that. I think that's when you know you found the one. When you have somebody that can fulfill all 3 of those.
But I think really when it comes down to those, I think a lot of the times those are just trade-offs. I think some of those are things that, like I said, they conflict all the time because of the way that we described it. Like we want this, but we also low-key want the opposite of this. And then we want this.
But it's not the opposite. It's just up to a certain. There's only so much I can tolerate.
Up to a threshold.
Right. So if
that's a very big gray area, though.
And then there's a problem. Well, no, you just have to figure out what the threshold is. The threshold isn't written on their forehead.
Right.
You got to go find it.
Right.
You know,
you got to go look.
Right. Like you got to go.
That's all we want to do here at the Unprofessional Opinion Podcast.
Exactly.
Is to get y'all to go look.
So it's really not. So it's like, okay, if somebody is, they're ambitious enough to where I can have my personal space.
Right.
You got to figure out what that personal space is. If y'all ain't seen each other in 3 days and she blowing your phone up, then you know that your personal space time has got to be 72 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Anything more than that, you got an issue because stop calling me.
Right.
Please.
Like, we don't have to talk. I'm going to be over there in 3 days. Just go do you. I'll be there in 3 days.
See, that's my issue. I disappear.
So,
I mean, I've literally been talking to girls and they just don't hear from me for months.
I mean, that's...
Just, oh, my bad. See, that's what pisses them off.
You should totally turn on red receipts.
What?
Red receipts?
No, I'll put them on.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. Because when I message you, no, you have to turn yours on. So like,
No, I do turn mine on.
When I read one of your, when I get a message from you.
Oh, send read receipts.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they're on now.
Yeah.
I used to have them on.
Why you turn them off? Most people turn them off to not make people feel bad.
I don't know.
I leave mine
I don't
on.
know. I don't know
Fuck
why.
that. You know that I read it. I don't care.
That's what I'm saying. I don't care, though. Like, what?
We got anything else? I think that's a pretty good podcast.
No, we got 2 more topics.
Fuck.
Yeah, chop it up to the game, man.
I
Duke
got
lost.
things to do.
Duke
lost because they can't shoot.
Let me tell you why Duke lost.
Because they can't shoot.
That's not why they lost, though.
But that is a large part.
That's not why they lost. I'm going to tell you why they lost. Well, first of all, everybody just... I don't know why we do this.
Mm-hmm.
Why we like to give people crowns before they've earned it. Why we like to hype people up. Right? Because they beat Kentucky and y'all told me that this is the most incredible team ever. They could beat the Cavs. Remember that? By the way, Colin Sexton had like 30 last night. Cavs just beat 2 playoff teams in a row.
Stand up.
I mean, that was your pick for Rookie of the Year. And they got off to a rocky start.
Was that my pick?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that was my pick. I think because I think it was between him, Trey, and
I still got Luka.
Yeah, Luka.
Luka balling.
Luka is ballers.
Trey balling.
Yeah.
And Colin starting to bow.
Yeah.
Y'all say they could beat the Cavs. You know, Paul Pierce went up there and said it. I don't like Paul Pierce anyways. And y'all told me that Zion Williamson was just going to just run over everybody. He's shooting 82% from the field in his first 3 games. Oh my gosh, he windmills in games. We've never seen anything like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know why they lost?
Why they lose? Talk that shit.
Because they played against a team that was a really good team, really well coached team that had film on them. Because, like I've been trying to tell everybody who is on the Zion Williamson is the next big thing train, they're very scoutable. I know that no matter where Zion Williamson is on the floor, he's coming back over his right shoulder to shoot with his left hand. It doesn't matter how he's going to... It doesn't matter what contortion of his body he has to do it.
I've seen him... Actually, when I think about it, I've seen him do some weird shit to get back to his left. It worked because he jumped higher than everyone.
Right.
But he's definitely done some very weird things.
And R.J. Barrett is the same way.
Oh, he's left?
R.J. Barrett is a lefty. But the difference between R.J. Barrett and Zion Williamson is R.J. Barrett has a middle game. Zion has no middle game.
Yeah, RJ can actually spread the floor a little bit, even though he too is... Well, he's not a...
31% from 3. He's a horrible 3-point shooter.
That's why I was going to say average. 31%. I mean, 30% from 3, is that horrible?
Yes.
What's good from 3?
Anywhere from average is about 35%. Good is anything over 40.
Okay.
I mean, I
thought 40 was like amazing.
Yeah, I mean 40 is good. Like 40 is like good.
Yeah,
I mean, you can shoot
like,
consistently
that nigga can shoot
40.
Wow.
Yeah,
what does Steph shoot right now?
I mean, Chef
Steph.
Steph. I don't know what he's shooting right now, because he hasn't played in like 5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But Steph for his career is about 44%. And that's second all time to like Steve Kerr.
Yeah, that's that nigga.
Like he can shoot.
Damn. Second to your coach. That's crazy.
Right. But again, highly scoutable. So we go back to the Kentucky game. Kentucky, not only did John Calipari win the title of not having his team prepared game one, because he never does. But I mean, his team, he started a bunch of freshmen, and the next game he switched up his starting lineup. But
3-point percentage, he is 43.8.
Oh,
that's amazing.
Yeah, that is
literally 4 to 5 out of every 10. And in game, it be looking like that nigga don't miss. Like when he get in the groove, him and Clay. I wonder what Clay's is. Clay's might fuck around and be higher.
No, it's not. Where was that? Oh yeah. So, John Calipari had no film on Duke. Say, wait a minute, JC. They had film because Duke went on the Canada tour.
Mm-hmm.
No Cam Reddish, no Trey Jones. So literally, he had no film.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now I understand why they lost by 34.
41.8. Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't have any film to really prepare, and they're missing 2 starters,
right?
And I'm starting a bunch of freshmen, that has a recipe for getting my behind kicked.
Right. I mean, but they're also starting freshmen. But they're just better. Are they better freshmen? Or
Well, I mean, that end,
freshmen?
Coach K is just clearly out coached John Calipari.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, you realize you could be playing the 6 while we do the podcast every week, right?
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't care. I mean, as long as you prepared, you ready to go. I mean,
yeah.
I don't care.
But I mean, keep going though.
Then they played a bunch.
Wait, hold on. You said the Canada tour.
Yeah, they went to Canada and played 3 games. No Cam Reddish, no Trey Jones. That was the only film you had of Zion as a Duke player. RJ as a Duke player. So when you add Cam Reddish and Trey Jones, 2 of the better shooters on the team.
So do you think? So you think that the first game of the season is just always going to be a one-off?
No, I think that if you don't really know your team, because I mean John Calipari is bringing in 7 freshmen and a grad transfer, so basically his entire rotation wasn't really on the team last year, except for P.J. Washington and Quade Green, like 2 players, and they aren't spectacular players. See, Kentucky didn't have any dudes. Duke got them dudes. You know what I'm saying?
They got them dudes.
Right. So if I don't have a dude that's just going to go in there and ball, just like it don't matter who in front of me, and I have to really put people in position, I don't know what the other team is going to do. Because it's really hard to predict, to come up with a strategy for something if I don't know what the other team is going to do. I don't know. I don't have an accurate look at their personnel.
And overall, that translates to we don't know what to do with them dudes.
Right.
Okay.
And they got them dudes.
Right. Like.
So that's
it's like, oh shit, that's that dude.
Right.
Fuck, what do we do? I mean, he didn't do a good job of adjusting at half, at least. But
he's never done a good job of adjusting at half. That's John Calipari for you.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like he just always had them dudes. But you got Anthony Davis, ain't a whole lot of adjusting you got to do.
Right.
Hey, 23, give him the ball.
He can't score? Okay, everyone else score.
Right.
Just block and board.
Literally, that's what he did in that championship game.
Yeah. He was like, for some reason, the ball is just not going to, like, he was like, look, guys, I don't know what's happening. Like, ain't shit going on in my personal life. I just can't put the ball in the basket. So I'll block and I'll board.
Right. And he said everybody else scored.
And everyone else scored. Okay.
You're a Hall of Famer? So, and then after that, they played their regular non-conference opponents, the Eastern Michigans, the Armies of the world. Yeah, Zion Williamson is going to look amazing against those teams. Because you know why?
Why?
Because they're Army in Eastern Michigan. I'm sorry, what dudes is on Army in Eastern Michigan? If you a dude, you not going to them schools. So Zion shoots 80% from the field.
Uh-huh.
And everybody's like, oh my God, Zion Williamson, he's never going to miss a shot. Look at the dunks. He's crazy. Yeah, if I got people getting him the ball, because my two best ball handlers are now back, of course he's going to shoot 13 to 15 from the field.
Right. Wait, so what did he do against Gonzaga?
He had 22 and 10, but in the first half, when Gonzaga was putting on a clinic offensively, he couldn't do a whole lot. So I mean, like back when they was like, okay, you just have to score, and then a lot of it was like garbage time. Like Gonzaga was really leading the whole game. So then you get to Gonzaga. Gonzaga's very well coached. They have a bunch of older guys. Yeah, these guys have been in the Final Four.
Most of their squad is like juniors and seniors, right?
Right. They got a 5th-year senior starting at point. So hey, if you keep them out of transition and Zion didn't be able to freaking bite the rim, let's see what they do in the half court set.
Bite the rim.
And what do you know? They were getting their titties waxed in the first half. Gonzaga shot 65% from the field.
Now, luckily, we know that Coach K is amazing at adjusting at half.
Right.
So,
and they still lost.
Yeah, they still lost by what, 2-4?
They lost by 2. And it should have been worse than that, but Gonzaga decided not to hit free throws late. But you know why? Even with the adjustments in the second half, they still lost. One, you're right. They're just not a great shooting team from deep.
Cam Reddish, and you said Ty Jones,
Trey
Jones. I mean, 2 out of 12, 13 guys can shoot the ball outside
they got other guys. They got other role players that can shoot. Jack White, Alex O'Connell. They can both shoot.
But
but you're not playing them with Zion and RJ and all of them.
Right.
You're going to put one of them on the floor at a time.
So you have 2 shooting playmakers.
Right.
Who can shoot the ball? Only 2 who can shoot the ball outside of 15.
Right.
Who can do more than just shoot the ball?
I
mean,
go ahead.
Essentially, it's just like it's a recipe for disaster because it's almost kind of like what they would do with MJ at first, where it's just like, okay, we'll just shut everybody else down and just let him shoot. And that's not. I mean, all we got to do is just stand on the left side, and Zion's not gonna be able to do anything. Like, okay,
right. And that brings up the point though that everybody kind of forgot. Zion Williamson is not a great defender. He has the athleticism, of course,
to be an amazing defender.
But what they were doing is, you can't put Zion at the 5. You have to put him at the 4 because he can't protect the rim because he doesn't know the rotations. So you put him at the 5. You put him at the 4. You have to put Marquise Bolden or somebody else at the 5 that can't defend a pick and roll.
Right.
So they did the classic, innovative offense of whoever Marcus Bolden is guarding, take our best ball handler, put him in a pick and roll.
True.
Very simple offense. Because Zion is on the backside, he never rotates, easy buckets all day long. So, transferring that to the NBA, if I can't put Zion at the 5 with 4 shooters around him, and I have to put him at the 4, that means I'm not drafting number 1. And the question that I've always had for everybody who is on the Zion Williamson train, show me his skill set that gets him 20 points a game in the NBA. What does he do offensively that can get you 20 points a game in the NBA? Because that's what if you draft him number 1 and he's not giving me 20 a game, that's a bust.
Well, I mean, I feel like he could end up being kind of like Blake Griffin. Because when Blake Griffin came in, he didn't have offensive skills at all, but he was still giving niggas buckets because he would fly over them.
Right.
But then as he got further into his career, like now, like, his
rookie year was the best statistical season of his career.
Right. All he did was...
He got worse and worse and worse, and then it went back up. Oh, why? Because Chris Paul came.
Right.
Chris Paul was the franchise player. That's why when he left, they shipped you out of town, Blake.
Right. But I feel like it would be more
expedited shipping to Detroit.
Right, but not even that. I think it would be a situation where I'm actually learning. Well, let me see. What am I saying? Like developing my skill set far more now that I'm in the league and I'm realizing, oh shit, actually
Right.
I need to do more. So yeah, like his stats may have went down, but his game has gotten a lot better over these past years.
Who, Blake?
Yeah.
Well,
Like his overall game has gotten way better compared to where he was his rookie season because everybody was just like, "Oh, we can't do it. This nigga shit with this nigga because all you gonna do is jump over us." And then they adjusted, and then he adjusted. So I feel like it'll be the same thing.
Think about how long it took him to adjust. He didn't start shooting threes until when? Like last year.
2 years ago. 2
Right,
years
because
ago?
Blake Griffin will tell you. Blake Griffin was hurt a lot. You know why? Because there's a lot of force when you jump and you come back down.
Right.
It's like 3 times more force coming down than it is going up. That puts
especially when you're that athletic.
What do you think Zion is? Zion has 30 more pounds.
And like 2 more inches in vertical, right? God damn. That nigga gonna
Probably like 7, to be honest.
that nigga gonna be hurt in a bitch. Woo job.
But you gotta understand, if I draft him number 1, you know what that means? My team is trash. My team is horrible. I may not have a point guard to get him the ball in the areas he needs to have the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So, how does he take the ball and get? That's what I'm saying. Right now, Zion is not a guy where you could just toss him the ball on the wing and say, "Get me a bucket."
LMAO, we totally said this is going to be a short episode. Damn,
you said that.
We just love talking. All right,
You said that. I ain't saying it.
That be true.
The last topic. So we gotta figure out a name for this topic. For the last topic of the day.
I mean, we already said what it was called.
I mean, I don't. But
struggle bars.
This isn't struggle bars though.
Okay, well,
I don't know. We'll think about it.
What's the gist?
So, we're heading in 2019. End of the year is coming. A lot of people, they want to make career changes, right? Maybe they want to leave the job they're at. Maybe they want to start that business, whatever. And the best career advice that anybody's ever given me that I want to share is to, don't worry about the money. Chase good management.
Good management?
Yes.
In terms of, are we speaking specifically in corporate?
I mean, it doesn't matter where it is.
Okay.
Do not chase money. Do not take the job that's going to pay the most. Take the job that's going to have the best boss. Because if you have a good boss, it can make your entire tenure at that place a whole lot more impactful.
Mm-hmm.
So if all the people out there are thinking 2019 is going to be the year that I leave this job because I'm miserable, you're probably miserable because you don't like your boss.
True.
All right? From experience, I know. Chase good management.
Uh-huh.
That's how I want to end this.
I mean, well, I think not only chase good management, I think you should also just chase shit that you actually want to do. Like, chase, don't go, like you said, don't just go for the money, but also, like, do things that, like, you actually enjoy. Like,
Well, I mean, but even if you do something that you want to do, if you don't work for a good boss, then it kind of robs you of your joy of doing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. It's more important that it's if you have a good boss, they'll put you in the right places to succeed, and then they'll give you access to the people they won't restrict your growth either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, that's how we're going to end that. No podcast next week.
Yeah,
my man is going back up to DC.
Yeah, man. Gonna go do some things.
You have fun with that, man. And
on that note, this is the Unprofessional Opinion Podcast. I am AJ. This is JC Sazay. We told y'all it was gonna be a short episode, but we lied. So
I mean, it's the shortest one we've done yet.
I mean, yeah, by like literally 50 seconds. So,
Okay.
we'll catch y'all on the block, man. Hold it down.